Hey Iris, is it true that you're still not working?
Hi, Mother. How are you?
No need for the formalities. Tell me what's going on. Why don't you have a job? It doesn't make sense for you to stay home when you don't even have kids yet.
That may be true, but it hasn't even been a year since Ben and I got married. I want to cherish the time we have alone together while I can. It's not something we'll always have. Ben also feels the same way and said me being at home and not working wouldn't be a problem.
I see, but for someone who doesn't work, haven't you been spending a little too much money since marrying my son? It doesn't make a good impression.
No, not at all. I barely spend money. What makes you think that I do?
Are you sure about that? The amount of money Ben gives me every month has been decreasing little by little with no explanation. Now he only gives me a mere $500 a month. And you have nothing to do with that? It's a big difference from what I used to receive. And this is the only way I can make sense of it. Before marrying you, he would give me $2,000 each month with no problem. You have to admit the timing is a little odd, isn't it? We have never had any issues with this until you came along.
You have to take into consideration the fact that living expenses change after marriage. And things can get expensive. It's not uncommon.
Even so, it is very odd for the amount that my son gives me to decrease by that much all at once. It just doesn't make any sense. I even asked him about it myself, and all he could say was $500 is the best he can do. I could not believe what I was hearing. I've called multiple times since then, and now he won't even return my phone calls. What is going on? Is it because of you?
No, it's not. It's most likely because of how busy he's been with everything recently. Ben has a lot going on.
He's so busy he can't pick up a call from his struggling mother? There's no way I can live off of just $500 a month. Make sure you let my son know what I said. Even though he should know this already. I need to make sure he hears it. If you're not using the money as you should, you'll tell him?
Mother, with all due respect, I need you to realize that Ben and I are married. And that comes with changes for all of us, not just you. Ben and I have to start putting money away in savings in preparation for our future and whatever may occur. We want to be prepared. In order to do that, we have to limit what we send you to nothing more than $500 each month. Please understand.
Who do you think you are? You just confirmed my suspicion. I was right. It was actually you who decided to decrease the amount of money he sends me. How selfish.
Not at all. It was not something that was decided on alone. We both sat down and came to a decision we both agreed on and thought was right for us. Unfortunately, that decision impacts you as well, but we had hoped you would understand.
Okay. I see. So you're trying to keep all of his money for yourself. I mean, it makes sense considering you don't work and stay at home all day. So of course you are. You're unbelievable. It must be nice. You're living in a beautiful apartment and receiving a nice amount of money from my son on top of that. That's quite the opposite of someone like me who lives alone. I could make much better use of that money than you. I actually need it. What would you even need it for?
As I said before, we need to build up money in our savings for our future. That is what it's being used for. The money is definitely not being wasted or used the way you think. I wouldn't spend money recklessly, especially when we just got married. That wouldn't be smart.
I wonder about that. When a low-class high school graduate like you marries an elite man like my son, it's inevitable that one starts getting these warped ideas and fantasies. Just admit it. You want his money and are caught up in the idea of finally being able to live luxuriously. Having all of that money without even working for it must be nice.
Not at all. I'm living within my means while saving as much as possible. Nothing more. Nothing less. I don't squander money on pointless things like that. Nor do I intend to take advantage of Ben in that way. He's my husband. I am here to support and help him.
Then what's the problem with giving me more money? To me, it seems like you are just being greedy and want to keep it all for yourself. I don't really want to say this, but now I feel like I have to. The only reason my son was able to get such a good job is because I paid for his schooling. It was me who raised him and enabled him to be who he is today. There's no way he would have gotten there alone.
Of course, there are many things that have happened thanks to your efforts. And no one can deny that, but you have to realize the truth. He also helped and did a lot for himself, did he not?
But the reason for that is also because I enabled it and pushed him. Can't you see that? And to be honest with you, Iris, I still haven't accepted you. I had no choice but to let you marry my son since he said he wouldn't marry anyone else. And to this day, I still cannot figure out why when he had much better options. But that is literally the only reason you're still here. I hope I have made that very clear to you.
Oh yes. I know, and it is very clear. You remind me almost every time we speak. But despite that, I've been working hard for you to finally accept me as his wife. Life would be much easier for all three of us if that could happen.
What? Trying hard? How? Please tell me. What have you done to prove yourself? After decreasing the amount of money I receive, you think I'll accept you as his wife and my daughter-in-law? It's more like you want me to dislike you even more. That is the only thing I can possibly see happening if things keep going in this direction.
I'm doing my best and have been working hard to do what I have to do in relation to supporting Ben. I believe that is the role of a wife, and I have no doubt that I've been fulfilling that duty.
So you think you're doing enough just because you're being a good wife to Ben? That's kind of cute. It doesn't stop there. You married into the family, so you have an obligation to me as well. Think about that. Anyway, talk with Ben again about the amount of money he's giving me. $500 is not at all enough. I need more, and I would like for him to know that. Even better if he could actually return my phone calls. I've noticed the deposit in my account this month, and it's disappointing. Iris, you know what I mean, right?
I assume you're reaching out because it's the same as last month. Am I correct?
Yes, and if you're aware, why not send me more money? Did you forget our conversation last month? I was clear about it.
No, I remember it all vividly. I need you to understand that we have our own obligations and lives to manage. It's not just about you.
Are you implying that my well-being doesn't matter?
Not at all, but mother, you do have a pension, don't you? Plus, you should have Ben's dad's inheritance to help. You shouldn't be struggling financially.
His inheritance isn't substantial. It's too little to make a difference. That's why I asked Ben for money initially. How can I live comfortably with only a quarter of what I used to get?
From my perspective, it seems like you're spending money unnecessarily. Ben told me you go on a trip every month. Is that true? If so, isn't that excessive and wasteful?
I don't see anything wrong with a monthly trip. Are you trying to take away my happiness?
Let's face reality. You own a home and don't need much more to live comfortably, especially if you spend on trips. If you save a bit each time, you can go on a trip every few months at least. Monthly is excessive and beyond your budget. It's reasonable. Please reconsider what you're asking and how you're using the money.
I have. I tried living with this little money, and it's not feasible. That's why I'm asking. That's why we're talking. Are you understanding me? $500 a month isn't enough. If you won't increase it, get a job to earn more. That would solve this. I know you support your husband, but that's not sufficient. It doesn't seem like you're even doing that properly.
If you believe that, why not get a part-time job yourself? You're still healthy and active for trips, right? You can do it.
Seriously? You want an elderly woman like me to work? You should be ashamed. Treating your mother-in-law this way is awful. I can't believe you're ordering me around with your lower-class background. This treatment is unforgivable.
My background has nothing to do with your spending habits.
Forget it. I'll talk to my son directly. This conversation with you is pointless. You're leeching off my elite son.
I'm sorry, but he doesn't want to discuss this further with you. And neither do I, to be honest.
Do you really think I'll believe you? I'll visit on my next day off.
Your visit won't change anything, and we won't be able to accommodate you.
Whatever. Just ensure you have my $1,000 ready. I won't leave until I have what I came for. Hey Iris, is it true that you moved? I asked Ben and he said you two aren't living in the same apartment anymore.
Ben found it amusing that you visited our old apartment. He didn't expect you to actually stop by.
What's the humor in that? I don't see anything funny about it. I told you I planned to drop by.
And I told you that it wouldn't change anything if you did. And we couldn't accommodate you. Now you understand what I meant.
Yes, fine. But I've come across more information that needs clarification. What's this I hear about my son only having $200 for spending money every month? My accomplished son should have more than a mere $200, he earns a lot. Just as I thought, this must be due to your excessive spending. You're not leaving him enough for himself.
Mother, if you're going to go down that path, there's another fact you need to know. Ben's salary is only $700 per month. It's not much at all.
Wait. What? How does that make sense? What are you saying? He's at a well-established company, right? That can't be true.
He left that job after we got married.
He left a promising job right after your marriage? If that's true, how have you managed until now? Isn't your apartment rent more than $1,000?
To be honest, I've been supporting us.
Enough with the lies. You can't possibly sustain that responsibility with only part-time jobs. Or maybe you're working at a lower-tier place to make money?
No, that's not true. I wouldn't subject myself to that or embarrass Ben. I have a full-time work-from-home job. Ben met me while I was working at a diner as a favor to a friend. My main job from home brings in good money and is quite stable.
I can't believe that. First of all, my son wouldn't quit that job. Unthinkable. And the fact that he never mentioned it confirms that.
No, he was afraid to tell you. He was quite stressed about it.
What are you talking about?
Whenever he did something you disapproved of, you'd just complain, right? That's a lot to handle. He quit because of the accumulated stress from you and the job. To make things easier, I've been handling most conversations with you recently. I thought it would burden Ben and cause more stress.
So you find communicating with me a burden? I'm his mother. I'm the one who raised him to be successful. He owes me.
You've been saying things like this for years to get money from him, haven't you? My husband worked hard to get into a good college and company. He had no choice, considering he went to a public school. He used part-time jobs and scholarships to pay his tuition. Yet you act like his success is all thanks to you. Please stop.
It's because I'm his mother that he's successful.
I dislike your division of winners and losers. It's baseless. Ben might seem like a winner to you because you made him, but face the truth. His mental state suffered due to the stress, and much of it traces back to you. He's been doing better, working part-time and taking care of the house.
My son? A part-timer? Impossible.
Yes, that's why his monthly income is $700. His spending money is $200, and he gives you $500 each month. Do the math, it equals his monthly income, most of which goes to you. That's why he only has $200 for spending.
That can't be true. Are you saying my son only makes $700 a month? Cut it out with these jokes.
Nothing I've said is a joke.
You claiming to support the family with your work-from-home job is a lie. My son quitting his job to be a part-timer is a lie. You saying he's mentally unstable is a lie. It's all lies. I can't believe a word you say. Lying this much just to avoid sending me money is absurd.
I'm presenting the facts. Ben's health has been improving. So, I wanted to inform you of what's been happening and how your son is doing.
I'm tired. You're insane. I'm done with you. I don't want to continue this conversation.
Mother, didn't you initiate contact?
Stop blaming me. Just arrange a place for me to meet my son face to face.
Mother, Ben and I want nothing to do with you. We won't set up a meeting, we're cutting ties.
More nonsense. What are you saying now?
We won't be giving you money either. We won't help you anymore. Ben has made his decision. Please let your son go.
You won't send me money? I'll never forgive you. I won't let things go your way. I'm taking my son back. Be prepared. You two are getting a divorce. Reflect on what you've done in the meantime. Hi, Iris. Would you mind responding to me? Please, respond. I have something I want to talk to you about. It's okay if this is the last time we speak, I just have something I want you to hear.
What is it?
Thank goodness. I couldn't reach Ben, so I didn't think I'd be able to reach you either, but I'm glad I did. Thank you for responding.
I plan on changing my phone number soon too. So this will be the last time you'll be able to contact me.
You don't have to do all of that.
I just don't like the fact that you have my number. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
Iris. I'm sorry for everything. I contacted Ben's company yesterday. Apparently, he quit his job months ago. I was really surprised to hear that, and even more surprised to learn that you were right.
Oh, is that so?
Now I see that what you were saying is true. I didn't know anything at all. I said such terrible things to you, and I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. I don't want an apology. If you can sincerely look back on yourself and notice where you were wrong, that is enough for me.
So there is one more thing. About my monthly allowance. Are you really not sending me anything next month?
Yes, we are not sending you anything else.
Is there any way you can reconsider? Even the $500 you were sending before is okay.
Did you actually take time to reflect on the situation? I'm pretty sure your Social Security gives you enough to live on.
Actually, I'm kind of in debt because of my loans. That's why I can't live off of just my Social Security alone.
You even had your husband's inheritance too. Isn't this your fault for being so irresponsible with your money?
Yeah, I can't deny that. Please understand. I only need help for the next 3 years.
If it's only $500 a month that you need, there is no doubt that you should be able to get that yourself by working.
My legs and joints have been getting weaker lately. That may not be a good idea. It even pains me just to go out.
Didn't you go to our old apartment yesterday?
Yes, but I was only able to because I used a taxi.
It's because you do things like that your money runs out so quickly.
You are right, and I will try as much as I can to refrain from using taxis from now on. I also plan on saving and correcting my spending habits. So please, is there any way you could at least continue sending me money every month?
Ben has sent you enough money over the past few years. He gave you so much each month that he couldn't save any for himself.
But before quitting his job, he was making a considerable amount of money, wasn't he? I mean, of course he was. There's no way he wasn't considering how great he is.
Elite or not, it still makes one a regular employee. He wasn't making as much as you think. Plus, aside from the set amount he was sending every month, there were other occasions where he sent you money as well per your request, weren't there?
I'll properly apologize to Ben too. What I did was wrong, but I still need the help.
He doesn't seem to want to talk to you anymore, so your apology isn't necessary. We wish to have nothing more to do with you.
Please, Iris. I'm begging you. Give me one more chance.
I gave you a chance. I gave you multiple chances. The first was me not immediately putting a stop to sending you money. I then asked you to reconsider the amount you've been using for living expenses. In my own way, I thought I was pretty clear in how I was communicating this to you.
Yes, but at that time, I thought you were just using the money for yourself. I just didn't feel like listening to anything you had to say, and I'm sorry.
Now that you mention it, didn't you call me a parasite?
I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry for anything I've done to hurt you or Ben. It'll never happen again. So even if it's for a short period, please don't stop sending me money.
It's already too late for your apologies. It is actually you who has been leeching off of Ben, not me. Please do all of this repenting by yourself on your own time and leave Ben and me alone. We'd appreciate it if you could stay out of our lives forever. This is goodbye. Because, remember? This conversation is pointless with the likes of me. A parasite who is leeching off of your elite son. I have not been in touch with my mother-in-law since then. I also changed my phone number, so it's true that there's no way for her to contact me, and I'm relieved about that. To finally be in a place where all ties with her are cut is extremely comforting. My husband suffered for years due to his mother's manipulative practices. Since he was in grade school, he was raised to believe that life had no meaning unless he joined a prestigious company. After entering the workforce, he was continuously exploited by people who credited all his success to his mother. My husband strongly wanted to end his relationship with his mother, but it was challenging. Breaking free from a mindset drilled into him since childhood was something he couldn't easily achieve. Instead, he worked himself to the point of both mental and physical illness. After taking some time off, he slowly recovered and wanted to reconcile with his mother. Fortunately, I was able to truthfully explain everything to her and finally free him from her influence. My husband can now pursue his desires freely. It's clear that my mother-in-law will face financial difficulties. However, these are problems of her own making. Even if the government asks me to assist my mother-in-law financially, I will wholeheartedly decline. We moved to an area where my mother-in-law has no means of contacting us. After the move, my husband quit his part-time job, and he's been helping me with my job at home. He's also taken care of all the household chores. During his tough times when he was sick, house chores were neglected, so I'm thrilled that he's feeling better now. Moving forward, my husband and I will continue to support each other and create a fun, happy lifestyle that suits us.